Feature Friday.
The freshest.
Oof, what a movie. And actually, I can't believe we've never seen this. I have seen like the first little bits and bobs of this movie. We haven't actually sat down and had a good look at it, because I presume, given who the musical score is and who kind of like the singers of the musical score for this movie is, we probably will.
Sanjay Leela, I freaking love that, man.
We will probably feature this in our movie channel for India, and we are like, things are still arriving. Like the other studio is still getting prepared and ready and stuff like that. It's just we're preparing for other events as well. But there is the movie channel coming from, you know, the other parts of Asia and the US, the UK, stuff like that, and then the usual sort of couch studio. We'll be back soon with new improvements. But I can't believe we've never checked this out. This is Ghoomar or Ghumari by Shreya. Actually sings this, and of course the one and only Deepika Padukone is featured in it. Is that accurate? People genuinely would dance like that, with those things in their heads?
Well, I would think so, yeah.
And if so, what would this represent? I always say this. I do apologize if there's going to probably be lots of questions. This is probably one of my favorite aspects of the channel, not just with sort of the Indian music industry, but with other parts of the world. I feel like I can get a grasp of some understanding of even some historical moments and stuff like that through music. So if you have the information, do share it below.
What I love about these sequences is that we know with Sanjay Leela's compositions and like the way that his cinematography works, a lot of these elements are so true, organic to the take. Yeah. So like they take weeks to film, and you can see that attention to detail in these particular moments. Like the shot in the one she comes in down the stairs is so regal, and there's so much like play with the color hue already. Like the golds are very golden and the reds are very striking, and all of it's part of the cinematography surrealism that you're being introduced into.
It is.
So it just ignites a lot of curiosity right from the get-go.
You feel part of this world from the get-go, and that's something very fucking difficult to do.
The song is great though. Oh, he's so cool. Oh, wow.
I also feel like this type of compositions do perhaps some of the best. Also as well because of probably the setting that they're in. You know, it seems in Indian classical influenced music, you of course have many instruments like bells and things that resemble dangles, clinks, twinkles. And it seems the attire follows along in this nature too. So you would presume that if you are part of this world, you were there actually, you would hear the dangles, the jingles, the bangles of all the jewelry. And this is certainly not done, this is not a coincidence. This is a very purposeful introduction, both visually and auditory. And it seems in most movies that do have some sort of Indian classical background or historical background in India, they all do this in terms of music really well. And I feel like that's why perhaps in the modern movies nowadays, the whole idea of them intertwining both sound and visual cues, it's so much more advanced than it is on the West, which is a shame.
She's such an effortless dancer too. She's so beautiful in her mannerisms.
Oh, and the emphasis on percussion is so class.
Oh, the shots. Oh, Shreya. Okay, stop.
It's probably...
Let's have a moment for the freaking choreography. I know that I spoke about it the second she started to come onto the screen, but there is such a charm in the subtlety of her movements that are really accurate. I mean, I've been going on a little bit of a rampage on dance lately because it's just something that you can really pick out in every detail. But look at the subtleties of her wrist movements, the hip movements. They all become so absolutely alluring. Like there is such a hypnotizing essence to it. And I feel like she is a great cast when it comes to like those really subtle surrealist environmental like set building scenes, because she allows for these things to come to life, right? And even though the dancers do an amazing job, they're part of the set, and she's such a spotlight. She's the moment.
That's why she's probably become so sort of popular, because I think she really does embody this sort of characters. And again, something to say about the Indian movie industry.
I also
they
think
seek for the triple threat, or in this case, the double threat, that do this to such a high level. The dancing, singing, and acting.
Well, the thing is, though, the beautiful part about this is that the charm, it's a prevalent part of the casting roles as well.
Yes.
Like, I think
Charisma.
you and I were talking about it. Like, you could be a great cast visually, you could be a great delivery of the script as part of the skill set, but if you lack charisma, if you lack personality,
you're not getting cast.
You're not gonna get cast. Oh, you could, but there's never gonna be another Deepika, because she possesses that charm, that the X factor, you know. Well, making it sound so cliche, but it's the honest.
I genuinely agree. It's so true.
Fact, you know.
Dude, I love Shreya's voice.
Oh, it's so rhythmical.
Something really intriguing, but this baffles me a lot, and perhaps this is why, out of all the channels and out of all the industries that we have decided to sort of start with in terms of movies, with Feature Friday movies, India, the reason why we decided to start with that one is because of this. I don't think there is a crowd in the world or a market in the world that appreciates musical complexity to the extent that India does.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And when it comes to obviously movies, because we're no movie experts, but I guess the only area of expertise we have, or their biggest passion, would be music. You would have to start in Bollywood. You would have to start in Tollywood. You would have to start in the Indian movie industries overall, because they intertwine both so well. The complexity of cinematography with also complexity, but also it seems for this type of demographic, it's easily consumable. This isn't an issue. The fact that you just switch tempo 3 times, you're utilizing minor percussion as part of the main, actually it's the only aspect of percussion present. You're utilizing complex musical notes and journeys through scales like if it was fucking bread and butter. But this is very difficult to do and very difficult to understand. But I guess the general populace in India, given the culture, just sort of, this is great. This is amazing. One of my favorite songs, 300 million views. This is fucking abnormal. Like, the quality of this shit, it's so high.
I agree. There's such a beauty in the essence of its complexity that usually gets lost in translation, musically speaking. Obviously, with such a visual composition too, I feel like it aids the process of being even more attractive to the foreign ear. In this particular case, though, I do agree with you. Like, there's such beauty in the complexity, and people feel proud to understand.
People understand it.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
But the general population understands.
It's
That's
fascinating.
fucking ridiculous. To a great extent as well. Diwali.
You see the subtleties. It's the freaking subtleties, even in the percussion.
This type of stuff is what makes them so elite. So you start to see a rise in tempo, right, and in crescendo, but you also copy so through the cinematography. So you start to see normal rhythm. Of course, this is all bass line. That's why you're so close to the ground, bass line. Yes. And then all of a sudden you start to see in crescendo climax. But look, the camera also does the same thing. That's fucking, you don't see this type of stuff in the West this frequently. You see it in some like insane masterpieces with the involvement of like what the hell's the name of this geezer that did Dune?
Oh, okay. Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer, he does have elements of this. I mean, he's probably one of the greatest to exist.
Yes.
You see it as well in the latest Batman movie. This type of they're playing with darkness and brightness in scales, and also it is quite a dark movie, so he does explore this quite
broadly.
quite
yes.
broadly and to a large extent, which is something that it seems to get overlooked by people, and that's one of the reasons why I really like that movie. But in here, in this type of cinematography, it's really prevalent, and they utilize this type of complex principles all throughout the composition, which is mad.
I love the outfits, dude. Look how beautiful that is. Absolutely stunning.
I forget the name of that instrument, but it seems in a lot of compositions it's always related to fire. It's also a really bright sound, so
It's really incinerating. I think that's what.
that's right.
Fascinating. Come on. That's brilliant.
Shut up! No way, that's actually real. Is
Like,
that
she's
CGI
actually playing.
fire? Or is that...
No, that's actual fire.
So, and
That's
also
true, that's true fire.
she kept saying Diwali, so that's the festival of light.
Uh-huh.
So perhaps this is something
Part of
alluding to
that.
those lights. We will check out the lyrics. Do stay tuned to the end.
Oh, I think that's real fire. Her upper body movements are freaking awesome. She's such a great dancer, dude. She's a fantastic
I wish
dancer.
I had a chance to watch this in IMAX, man.
Oh, yeah. What a lost opportunity. I totally agree.
I really do. There's not many like there's not many movies that I wish I would have watched like in like IMAX. There's been a couple that obviously I wish I did. Like for example, we're currently reviewing Barfi. I wish we would have watched that when that came out in 2012 in IMAX. Obviously,
Yeah.
fucking impossible now. But that's like one of my dreams. Maybe if I ever become rich or win the lottery or something, I'll make an IMAX cinema in my house.
Okay.
Yeah, genuinely. Just for like 6
What?
people, because I only have like 7 friends.
Okay.
And one of them is standing up.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But,
I see.
well,
They
maybe-
can cuddle up in the chair.
Or maybe 10, because what about family and stuff?
Okay, yes.
Yeah, maybe like 11, 12 seats. You see, it keeps getting. That's why I shouldn't become a millionaire, because
Yes,
like my
yes.
house is gonna be full of absolute useless shit. A slide to go to the toilet.
Yep.
All
I
right.
totally believe that, though.
Okay, here are the lyrics. It says, "Hold your gaze at the courtyard. The queen is arriving.
So it is his mother. I knew it.
We welcome you to the folk dance with us."
No. Because she is.
She must be she
is the-
to be the wedded wife.
That's right.
So she's to become
The
the
queen.
princess.
No, she's to become the queen. If
The
he is
queen,
the
that's
king.
right. But his mother would be queen at the moment, right?
I would think so. Before
She
he's
passes
wed.
Before he's wedded. Wed.
Wedded.
Can I have the hot sauce?
No. Okay. Continue.
Come on, let's do the folk dance. We welcome you to the folk dance with us. Your beloved, it definitely did have a celebratory feel to it. Your beloved is feeling angry from within. Today my heart is very
Defiant.
scared and restless. My heart is in love with my beloved and it desires for him. The anklets are jingling as the women are dancing. The bells in the anklets are chiming. Come, let's do the folk dance. I'm intrigued when she talks about Diwali. I'll do the folk dance covering my head with the rainbow of love. That's perhaps what the veil means. Yes, I'll do the folk dance. I'll do the folk dance forgetting all the customs of the world. So perhaps this is a rebellious,
It's more like a.
declaration.
Yeah, it's more like
A brave declaration of love.
That I was gonna say that it's more like I will follow my gut, my instincts. They will lead me the right way.
I'll dance on the beats of the drummer. The women are doing the folk dance. My entire body wants to become the shadow of my beloved. Also, it seems back in the day in these sort of times, what would you say that the roles of men and women were very sort of thoroughly and strictly defined. So perhaps dance would be one of the forms in which women could express fully their sort of love and express themselves publicly in a world where perhaps this wasn't so sort of commonly seen if you weren't in a sort of a position of power.
I think it comes more to the point of let me show my gifts. It's more like an adoring
My goods.
example. No, it's what I'm trying to say. It's like an offering the courting, from the part of the women.
That's what I mean. It would be, I would presume, like back in the day, like again, just sort of worldwide, again, different parts, different sort of costumes and stuff. But it would always be the man who sort of expresses his love or publicly proposes. It's still,
Yes.
we still maintain this, right?
Yes.
We're still, the man usually, as it should fucking be, sit, gets on his knees and proposes. This is a public display of affection, love, and commitment.
Correct.
So perhaps this should also, not also should, but it could also be interpreted as the woman's turn, the woman's side of
To return part of the courting.
exactly, for her to show fully her affection for thy king or for the love of her life or whatever the
Yes,
fuck it
yes.
may be. Because also, I presume all the people watching on the sides, all these women probably also have husbands
That's
or
true.
lovers or people that they like, friends,
Like
whatever.
I said, I feel like it's an offering of
That's right.
of true feelings, maybe even flirtatious intentions. It's like
Definitely.
it's a way of I don't know, putting your foot front
That's kind of how it felt when we watched Bajirao Mastani, right? When
Correct.
Mastani dances for
For the
him,
first
it's
time.
rebellious. She's fucking saying fuck you to the other people that don't want her to be involved.
That's right.
But it's also a courting session, basically public.
Yeah, she is offering her love bravely.
But he's courting too. He is, because
Yes.
that's why he watches with such pride.
Correct.
And
he knows
emphasis.
it's directed to him,
Exactly.
especially. Yes.
Well, he's the king.
Such a beautiful interaction. Again, love that.
I should not be a king. Ever.
No,
I think that type
yes.
of power would corrupt the shit out of me. Genuinely.
Even my mother is agreeing with that in the corner.
I'd be a great king, wouldn't I, mother? Yeah. All women I've met, though, they also do agree, though, that I'll be a fantastic king for about a year. Wow. Then after that, we'll see what happens, yeah. Anyways, the light of your feelings is like Diwali for me. The light of your feelings is like Diwali for me. That's good.
Like a celebration of light.
Because it is the
itself.
festival of... Exactly. I've coloured all the walls of my heart's place with your colour.
Ooh,
The
that's great lyricism.
The light of your feelings is like Diwali for me. I've coloured all the walls of my heart's palace with your colour. After attaining your shade, my entire body is shining. This dark night is mine, has become full of stars. I'll dance on the beats of the drama. And then he continues to say, the last section, it says, obviously it goes back to the chorus, and then he goes, come and do the folk dance, which I think that's what Ghoomar.
I think that's the chanting part.
Where
Let's do the folk dance.
Wear the skirt, top, veil, and anklets. So it must be specific clothing utilized for this sort of moment. Even though attire in a lot of those movies, they are kind of royals and very sort of high ground people. Not high ground people, what do you call it? Socioeconomically high people, I guess. They do wear fucking some of the most amazing clothes I've ever seen. I think if anyone wore that right now, they'll get a sponsorship from Gucci or something. But yeah, that's pretty much all my thoughts. I mean, it is one of the best pieces we've probably reviewed in a good while, and most importantly, I think it says a lot about sort of where the industry in India is at, what it really does really well. This highlights that. I'm sure we can have discussions for years in the comments on what you think the Indian movies industries do really well, the music industry does really well. And then I'm sure there's going to be people that say there's things that could be better. But when it comes to scenes like this, I think it truly encapsulates what makes the Indian movie industry and music industry truly special.
I think period pieces are really difficult to come by and to actually execute in the right manner. And when it comes to such a culturally intertwined piece like this one, you really do need a creative mind that knows how to put that creativity into action. And I couldn't have picked a better composer and film director like Sanjay Leela to bring such beautiful light to what could possibly have been one of the most grim moments in history, amidst war, amidst ugliness and
illness.
Need and illness, the beauty, the absolute fantastic royal beauty of it all.
Yep.
It's fantastic. Again, intensely curious.
As always, let us know if you have more information. I do apologize if we perhaps make wrong presumptions or wrong assumptions, mispronounce things.
We're still learning.
As always, and this is what makes this journey so sort of amazing for us. So thank you so much for watching. If you like us, check out anything else, do drop it in the comment section below, and goodbye.
Bye.